warning sign at mile marker 13 is rusted and bullet-riddled. Most drivers never see it because the butcher sees them first. The road doesn't look wrong at first. Highway 19 stretches flat and quiet, a ribbon of asphalt cutting through pine scrub and forgotten farmland. No streetlights, no businesses. Just the hum of tires and the faint glow of reflective paint sliding past beneath headlights. People say isolation always feels peaceful before it feels dangerous, but most drivers don't notice the shift when it happens. They're too busy thinking about getting home, too busy trusting the map. That trust begins to fracture somewhere. After the last working gas station, cell service drops without warning. Not gradually, but all at once. One bar becomes none. Music cuts out mid-song. GPS freezes, then reroutes, insisting this road is faster, safer. That's usually when drivers glance at their dashboards and realize the temperature gauge is rising, or the engine light has flickered on for the first time in years. It's never dramatic, just subtle enough to ignore. And that raises a question no one asks until it's too late. Why does it always start here? Mile marker 13 appears suddenly, headlights catching the edge of metal half buried in weeds. The sign is old, peppered with bullet holes, letters faded into rust. Some swear there's writing beneath the official numbers, scratched deep and angry, but no one ever stops long enough to read it. Engines sputter right after passing it. Tires hiss as if air is escaping. Something always fails. The road demands a stop. On a Tuesday night, just before 1 a.m., 3 cars break down within half a mile of each other. None of the drivers know the others are there. They sit alone in their vehicles, hazards blinking, listening to the ticking of cooling engines. The silence presses in, thick and unnatural, broken only by insects that seem louder than they should be. One driver tries their phone again, lifting it toward the windshield like a prayer. Still nothing. No bars, no help. And that leads to a thought far worse than being stranded. How many people have been stuck here before? The first driver steps out to check the hood. The air smells wrong. Not rot, not smoke, but iron and oil, like a mechanic's shop that's seen too much blood. The darkness beyond the headlights feels layered, as if the night has depth. He hears something then, footsteps, slow, unhurried, too confident to be an animal. He calls out, his voice thin and foolish in the open air. There's no answer, only the footsteps stopping, just out of sight. That's when he understands something is watching him, waiting to be noticed. Half a mile down the road, a woman locks her doors without knowing why. Her instincts scream, even though she hasn't seen anything yet. The radio crackles on its own, bleeding static and fragments of a voice that doesn't sound like a broadcast. It sounds close, personal. She thinks she hears her name, though she knows that's impossible. The mirrors fog, then clear, and for a split second, she sees a shape standing behind her car. Tall, broad, wearing something that reflects light in dull, wet patches. When she turns fully, there's nothing there, but the smell seeps in anyway. The locals call him the butcher, but no one agrees on what he really is. Some say he was a slaughterhouse worker who snapped decades ago. Others whisper about something older, something tied to the land, awakened by violence and fed by fear. Police reports avoid details, labeling the disappearances as unrelated incidents. Vehicles found abandoned, no bodies, no blood, just drag marks leading off the road, swallowed by brush. That omission creates a chilling possibility. What if the road isn't hiding the truth? What if it's protecting it? The third car's engine dies completely, lights flickering before plunging the driver into darkness. He sits frozen, listening as something heavy brushes against the side of his vehicle. A metallic scrape trails along the door, slow and deliberate, like a blade being tested. Breathing follows, deep and steady, right outside the window. Not rushed, not excited, patient. He realizes then that whatever is out there isn't hunting blindly. It knows exactly where he is, exactly how long fear takes to peak. By the time the first scream cuts through the trees, it's already too late for all of them. Highway 19 doesn't echo the sound, it absorbs it. The night closes in, indifferent and practiced, as if this has happened countless times before. And somewhere near mile marker 13, the butcher steps back onto the road, waiting for the next set of headlights to crest the hill, knowing they won't turn around. They never do. By dawn, Highway 19 looks ordinary again, which is the most disturbing thing about it. Sunlight spills over the trees, revealing abandoned vehicles sitting quietly on the shoulder, doors ajar, hazards still blinking, no blood, no signs of struggle. Just personal items left behind as if their owners stepped away for a moment and never came back. That normalcy raises a terrifying question. How can a place that kills so efficiently leave so little evidence? State troopers arrive late, always late, as if something slows them down before they reach mile marker 13. Radios crackle with interference the closer they get. Dash cams malfunction. One officer later swears his watch stopped ticking the moment he stepped onto the asphalt. Reports are written carefully, language stripped of emotion, missing persons, mechanical failure, wildlife disturbance. The truth is buried beneath procedure, because acknowledging it would mean admitting the road is alive. The locals don't talk to police, they talk to each other, in lowered voices at diners and feed stores. They know the patterns. Breakdowns cluster near the marker. Engines fail even after full inspections. Tires deflate without punctures. Anyone who walks away from their car vanishes. Anyone who stays too long hears him. Heavy boots, wet fabric dragging against skin. A breathing rhythm that never changes, no matter how fast you run. That consistency suggests something chilling. The butcher doesn't need to hurry. One survivor exists, though officials refuse to use that word. He was found wandering 10 miles from Highway 19, barefoot and bleeding, unable to explain how he escaped. His statement was sealed, but pieces leaked. He said the butcher wears what's left of his victims, layers of torn clothing fused together with something dark and stiff. He said the face underneath wasn't human anymore, stretched and split by something trying to come through. Most disturbing of all, he said the butcher spoke to him without opening his mouth. According to the survivor, the voice came from everywhere at once. From the trees, from the road, from inside his own head. It told him the highway was built wrong, paved over land that should never have been cut through. Something was trapped beneath it, something that learned how to hunt by watching people kill animals there long before cars existed. The butcher, the voice said, was only a shape it learned to wear. That idea reframes every disappearance. What if there is no single killer at all? That would explain why the road adapts. Drivers who carry weapons never get the chance to use them. Their guns jam. Their knives slip from shaking hands. Those who pray feel watched, not saved. Those who scream are silenced quickly. The highway anticipates reactions as if it has studied fear for years. Because it has. Every breakdown teaches it something new. Every mile marker becomes a lesson. And mile marker 13 is where it perfected the process. Late one night, months after the disappearances are quietly archived, a road crew is sent to remove the rusted sign. It's deemed a safety hazard. The crew jokes nervously, refusing to look into the trees. When they pull the sign from the ground, the soil underneath is black and warm, like it's been breathing. Etched into the back of the metal, hidden for decades, are words carved deep by shaking hands. Do not stop. It follows the sound of fear. The cruise truck won't start after that. Radios hiss with distant screams that cut off too abruptly to be recordings. One worker runs, another freezes. The third hears footsteps, circling them slowly, deliberately, as if counting heartbeats. By the time the sun rises, the truck is found abandoned, door hanging open, sign missing again, replanted, reset, waiting. Highway 19 remains open, maps still recommend it, as a shortcut. The disappearances continue, spaced just far enough apart to avoid patterns that can't be explained away. Somewhere beneath the asphalt, something listens for engines struggling, for breath catching in a human chest, for that precise moment when hope turns into panic. That's when the road feeds best. And that's why no one truly makes it past mile marker 13.